What I want to go over with you is tips for creating designs based on a theme. So I'm gonna pick one of my cars that I don't have fully upgraded. It'll be my Hyundai i20. So this particular car, I have no plans on fully upgrading it. As you see, it's sitting here 27 out 28, and the reason why is because this engine upgrade costs 185. It's not worth it. Don't need the car anymore. The series in where it comes from is completely in the Pro-Am and Master. I still have some Master to go, but not with this car. So it'll work to be and I'll show you a picture of what we're going to create. Is this scene here? It's a Bad Moon Rising is a song by this group, Creedence Clearwater Revival. So we'll create this scene using gradients and Halloween vinyls. So let's get started. So the first thing we have to do is come in here and take off the vinyls that are up here. And I pretty much like this color. If we need to change it, we will. So we're gonna need some shapes. We'll need pattern gradient. Let me see if we need anything else. I don't think we need anything else. If we do, we'll pick it up. Maybe the letter, the alphabet. So we'll take the alphabet too. And tell you what, let's just go in here and before we even get started, we'll lay down our lettering. I love doing themed designs. Trying to get it to go up at a bit of an angle. There you go. And then we'll come on the back side. Well, you know what? We'll leave it there. That's fine. I'll just leave it like that for now. So let's go ahead and start working on the basic design for this particular car. So we're going to do the design on the door. So we'll let that be our horizon. We'll come in right here, right along the door, and lay down some white. Let's see, right about there. And then over top of this, start building it up with some gray. And basically what we'll be doing is we're going to be pushing this illusion of depth. And so what I'll do now is come to the edge and on each side just break it up a little bit. I'll just lay down the borders from now. I can always move it. I'll leave it right there for now. So we'll start building up the scene. First thing we'll do is get us a moon. And put some gradient on that to break it up. And then to push this moon off of the page, we'll come in behind it with some white. Like that. And start building up the foreground. And what this does with this black on white, it starts to push the moon back, and then you can even do that even more. And get another bird in the sky there. And some other things we're going to be doing is working on the gradient like here, and I'll bring this in as far as I can to the edge of the cut, and then I'll pick up another gradient, dark, and what I want to do with this, I'm going to run this back and make sure it's behind the moon. Drop this down. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is put something in here to really break up your eye so that it can have, it just has too much, it gives the brain too much to deal with so that it doesn't spend too much energy trying to work out what's real and what's not. So watch how this happens here. And then we bring this woman, and what we're going to do with her, we're going to drop her behind the scene, like right in here. Right, and then put her silhouette, and then again drop her behind the scene, and then get a even smaller guy and put him way back in the background. And it doesn't, with this guy, it don't matter if we move him or not, because what he does, he provides the illusion of depth. And look and see what bats we have. do with this bat is I'm gonna give this guy a silhouette. You see that? And then find my moon and lighten that up a little bit. And now what we're going to do is darken up the foreground. And the way we do that is like that. And the thing is, like with this particular deal here, you don't want to overdo it. And you can push that up, and bring the highlights for the moon behind it a little more. And then go pick up our side again like this, darken it up a little bit. And this is going to be way off the scene. This is just to add some contrast here. And then what we're going to do is make sure that we drop that behind our border. Excuse any noise you hear, that's from me moving things around. You see that? And so I want to make sure that that blends really well. You see what that does? And so the next thing we do, we have to take our CCR and bring it up. I'll bring that to the top. I should have waited. I guess the best thing to do with these CCRs is the CC is just take them off and then go back and get them. They'll be the same size. I want them to go up at a bit of an angle. Reason why, it's just, it gives the brain something else to deal with without trying to figure out what's where and what's what. I'm gonna drop my man down a little bit more so his feet are in the scene. All right. And then we'll come over here and with our white lettering, don't want to make it too big. We don't have a lot of space over here. Now with this, it's okay to make this a little bigger. We just want to make sure that we have space so that everything fits between the border and that. So if we need to, we have to bring the sizing down and bring the lettering over. That way we have some space opened up for our O's. The brain will work out that this is two separate words. Let's see. And it don't have to be straight. Even if it's crooked, it's fine because you want people to have to focus on different things. Show you one other thing you can do with the gradient to help push the scene forward. And see, this car isn't completely flat, so it may distort some of the lettering on different angles of view, but we aren't worried about that. Like here, this bumper isn't straight, so we just put it in the best we can. And so we haven't, I don't think we've doubled this scene up, so it's just on one side of the car. We've used about 47 vinyls. If we wanted to, we can do more. So we can come here and pick up a gradient. On this one, we're gonna want it to be a little darker, but not too dark. And what we do is we open this up on the dark side of the moon. Okay, now we want to make sure it stays on top of the moon, but behind anything else, because that's all that does. It's supposed to do, I should say, is create depth. So we don't want it blotting out the silhouette of the people. We don't want it on top. We only want it to add to the illusion that this circle is not flat, that it's got texture and shape. So we want to look at, see that? And it creates like a halo effect. So last thing we're gonna check is make sure that we created enough. I'll check and see where that one is. Okay, all right. And the last thing I'll do is use this off black here and bring it down. And again, with this particular one, because of what it's going to be doing, this has to be, it can't get on top of the scene. Because all it's doing is helping to darken the foreground, the lower foreground, to create the illusion of depth. And we have one more vinyl, so let's check the Halloween vinyl. We have that bat is in the scene. We have 3 bats in the scene. This one is in the scene. Let's see. Yeah, this bat is in the scene right there. That bat is in the scene. This bat is not in the scene. So let's see where he would work the best. We'll put him up here. We'll make him black. And so there you have it. And if you want this scene on the other side of the car, all you have to do is come in and double up do the mirror mode on your images, and that's all it takes. And you'll have the scene on the opposite side of the car. Of course, you can't have the scene on the you can't have the words, I should say, on the other side of the car, because they'd be backwards and whatnot. But you can have the scene with the figure. So there you have it. It's a montage, a scene based on the song Bad Moon Rising from CCR. So, what I would tell you to do is just use your imagination, and then once you created a scene like this, it takes a life of its own. So we'll take a picture of it right there.